bigger?
Mm-hmm.
Is it big enough, or should I make the screen
Yeah,
bigger?
no, I can see. I can see.
Okay, perfect. P times 11 over 14
Right.
equals to 11 over 14 times 8 over 9. So you should not do any math here. You should be able to see
Right.
that there's 11 on both sides. Okay, so you can just
Right.
get rid of this. P must be 8 over 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at example 2 here. All these, you got to be able to see little things like both sides have 7 over 13 and both sides have
Right.
6 over 19. So you really don't need to do any math. You don't need to find any common denominator and all that.
Right.
Y is 3 over 5. That's it. Okay.
Right.
Big part of this exam is about being street smart. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this example at the bottom, example 3.
You see 5. Okay, 3. I see 3. Yeah.
Okay. What's the best way to do this? Well, you don't need to multiply and make it a huge number. You don't have a calculator. Okay. What you can do is you can cancel it. 5 and 5 cancel. 6 and 6 cancel, like that. Okay.
Yeah.
7 and 7 cancel, like that. So you end up with 2 over 11.
Gotcha.
Okay. This translation table is really handy because the word problem is getting pretty crazy. You probably know most of these already, but you need to know every one of these. I'll also make a copy of it and put it in your notebook.
Okay.
Whenever you see is, as, was, has, cost, they mean equal. Off means multiply. Percent means over 100. X percent means X over 100. Which, what means X, right? So I want to do a couple of problems like this right here. And actually, I want to copy a couple of pages from here so we can work in our notebook on those. Print screen. And next page, this also, print screen. And, okay, for now that will do. Yeah. Okay. Look at example 2 here on the right side.
Okay.
3% of 5. So using the translation table, all you have to do is write, like, copy it like a dictionary. 3 is 3.
Right.
Percent means over 100. Off is multiply. 5 is 5. And that's it. That's how you translate it. Look at question number 3. What percent of X? Using the translation table, what means X. Percent means over 100. Off means multiply. 3 means 3. Okay, these are pretty simple questions, but these are good ones to show you how, every word has certain meaning. Let's look at this example, example 3 here. I'm going to do the program on the left, so some space. Okay. The clue is A is 250% of B. And the puzzle is what percent of A is B? So this could be an exam question. It's a good exam question, actually. A is 250% of B. So A is just A. E means equal to. 250 is just a number.
Right.
Percent is divided by 100. Off means multiply. B means B. Okay? That's our clue. Okay? We can rewrite this as A equals to 2.5B. Right? You can leave it like this. It's fine. You can leave it like that. Okay, and what's our puzzle? Our puzzle is?
Can you go? Oh, there we go. All right.
Yeah. Our puzzle is what means X. Let's scroll down. Okay. What
X%, right? So
100.
over 100 equals B.
Let me see. Whatever I wrote disappeared for some reason. There you go. Okay. Here. What means X.
Mm-hmm.
Percent means over 100, right?
Right. Yep.
Off
Equals.
means multiply. A means A. E means equal to. B means B. So that's our puzzle. So using the clue, we have to solve this puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what we really need to find is this X, what this X is. All right? So what we do is we multiply both sides with 100 first. So we get rid of this 100. What do we have? X times A equals to 100B. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So divide both sides by A, and you have X equals to 100B divided by A. And what is A? We already know that. We know that this is equal to 100B divided by, or you can just write this 2.5B.
Right.
Yeah, 2.5B is fine. Okay, so B
Did
and B
you
cancel.
cross multiply there?
In here,
Yeah, or
the 100. Yeah, you can cross multiply and do it too.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
That also works. Okay. Sometimes I show slower steps because students have forgotten math after many years. So I just make sure I show.
I haven't done this in forever. Yeah.
Yeah. So 100 over 20, 2.5. I want to show you another trick with this. So when you could have done it 1,000 over 25,
Mm-hmm.
or you could have also done it like you double it and it becomes 200 over 5. Whichever you feel easier. I think that's probably easier for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can see right away. And then you divide it and it's 40.
Yeah.
The answer is 40. So the question is not hard. Just the translating is kind of weird,
Right.
All right. So if you know the translation table,
Mm-hmm.
it's very simple with these kinds of word problems.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Next technique I want to show you is with question number 1. I want to view it with this. Scrolling a bit bigger. Okay. Okay. Question number 1. Pretty easy stuff, but I want to introduce you to a new technique. With word problems, I'm a big proponent of making math problems into something visual. Like in geometry, you're supposed to draw pictures, right? I think in word problems too, if you draw pictures, if you make charts, it's so much easier to follow. Like in your business presentations or something that other people show you, you don't want to read 20 pages of their report. You can just look at a graph and or a table, a chart or something, and that you can just understand so much more, much faster, right?
Right.
So it's also, if you have a chart, you can also catch your mistakes easily. With pictures, we are visual animals. We've been visual for millions of years, right?
Right.
But we've been doing math or reading for how many years? Maybe a couple of thousand years, So our DNA cannot catch our math mistake or reading mistakes so easily. But visually, we're superb, right? So we can catch things visually very easily. So if you make pictures out of things, you'll catch your mistakes easily also.
Mm-hmm.
So with question number 1, what you should do is you should create a chart like this. Mary has a column. John has a column. Okay. And this is a really easy question. I'll go through it anyway. Mary is 5 years older than John. So Mary is, they're not equal. So Mary is M, John is J. And that's not equal. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like before. Okay? Your goal with word problems is to make something equals to something. All right? When you make something equals to something, a difficult word problem becomes a simple algebra problem. So here, what you do is you see that Mary is 5 years older than John. So to make it equal, If you add 5 to Mary, Mary will be 10 years older. That doesn't help you. You need to add 5 to John.
Right.
Mary will be John plus 5.
Gotcha.
Okay, like
So when do you determine to use this type of chart?
when you have something equal, so you see some relationships between two, variables. Okay, try to make a table and try to see how you can, find them equal. Okay, and then you have an equation. Now it's just an algebra problem.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at question number 4 here. I'll show it to you on the left side. Okay. Can you try to do it using the chart way? Go ahead and try to do it and tell me what you get.
So Sarah and John. 6 years ago, Sarah was 4 times as old as John. So Sarah and John does not equal each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could do it my way. Doing it with I guess the T chart, it's kind of weird.
Go ahead and do it your way. Go ahead and do it your way.
Okay. Well, so what I'm doing is the long way. I'm going 1 by 1 by 1, and that's going to take forever.
Okay.
So
time is the biggest thing in Gmat. You can't waste too much time on easy questions like this. You should be able to do it in a few seconds, so that when you have hard questions, you have a lot of time left.
All right, so let's do it your way then.
Okay. 6 years ago, Sarah was 4 times as old as John. So you should say now, Sarah is S, John is J. Okay?
Right.
That's not equal. So
you're
not near your goal. Okay? Then you got to go back 6 years. Minus 6. So 6 years ago, the important thing is to see that Sarah was 6 years younger, but John was also 6 years younger. So you have to do that also on both sides. So that's not equal. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you make it equal? Okay. If it says that Sarah was 4 times as old as John. Now, if you, it's like if Sarah was 40, John was like 10. Okay. Now, if you multiply Sarah with 4, Sarah will be 160. That doesn't help you. Okay. You need to multiply 4 with John. We do that. You have 4, J minus 6 on the right side. On the left side, you have S minus 6.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. So that's 4J.
The goal is to make it equal. You cannot solve it from here. We need more information, but it's just about setup. Okay? How to set it up. Okay? Let's see another question here. Number 7. Okay. With number 7.
Okay. Even after Phil gives Sam 6 compact discs, he still has 16 more compact discs than Sam has. All right. P and F.
That's not equal. Okay? In the beginning, that was the case. Later, what happens? Phil gives Sam 6 CDs. So Phil will lose 6 and Sam will gain 6, right?
Right.
And that's not equal either. Your goal is to make something equals to something. So how do you do that? Well, Phil has more. So Sam, you need to go to the store and buy 16 for Sam. If you buy 16 for Phil, Phil will have 32 more. That won't help you. Okay?
Right.
They need to be equal. Now it's an equation, and now you can just, try to solve it. Make sense?
Yeah. Let me just write that. I mean, well, I guess I could see all of this again, right? After.
Yeah, actually, I'm video recording it. You can watch it again And all these notes, everything I'm making here is your notebook. You can go through it again.
Right.
You can
Okay.
print it out in color, And
All right. Good.
so you don't have to copy things as you go,
Right.
right?
Right.
Just make sure whatever helps you learn though. If you like to write it down to understand it better, that's fine. But
Right.
it's more important to think. Uh, all right, here another question like this. Second one.
Sarah is twice as old as John. So, and 6 years ago, Sarah was 4 times as old as John was then. How old is John now? So Sarah, John, they don't equal. So you put, I guess, to equal, it's 2x on, 2 times on Sarah.
Right. You can use one variable here. You don't have to have one variable anymore. Because it's right in the beginning, they have a relationship. Sarah is twice as old. So you should
So
put
2
2x
times s.
and x, right? That's like
Right.
before. And that's not equal, right?
Right.
So go one sentence at a time just to make sure, you don't have too much information right away. Okay, 6 years ago, so you go back 6 years. 2x minus 6, x minus 6. Again, that's not equal either, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Sarah was 4 times as old as John at that time. So Sarah was 4 times as old as John. So you need to multiply this side with 4. Then you have 2x minus 6 equals to 4 times x minus 6. Okay, and then you just solve for x. You know how to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember those?
Yeah. Yeah.
24. Okay, and you just solve for x from here.
Right.
Okay. Let's move on. But if you don't remember little things, let me know. Okay, because
Yeah, I will. This is the one thing that I actually remember very well. The algebra.
Yeah, that's good. We'll need that. I'll make it a little smaller and make a copy of this to hold 2 pages. View 2 pages. Okay.
Do you know how to minimize this little box that I'm seeing in front of my computer?
You can just click the minimize sign there. Any box you can close it. Or minimize it, I guess. Make a few pages here.
Still on?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just making some extra pages at the bottom of the Word
yeah,
file.
I exited out of that box. Now it's not in my way, so that's good.
Okay, great. Excellent. Okay. Green screen. I'm going to copy this into your notebook. Okay, we'll get to that later. All right. Okay, next problem, something similar to that. This one, example 5. Few pages. Yes, bigger. Okay. Example 5. Phil has 3 times as many DVDs as Sam. So Phil has
3 times S.
You're going to have 3x and x here, right? Phil and Sam, right? That's before.
Right.
So don't create additional variable unless you have to. You see a relationship, just plug it in like this.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then later, what happens?
Phil gives Sam 6 CDs.
So Sam
So,
will have 6 extra. Okay.
right.
Very important to notice that. Yeah. This part. Okay.
Okay. And then he still has 16 more DVDs than Sam.
Okay. So to make it equal, you have to add 16 to Sam's side. Now they're equal. X plus 6 plus 16.
Right.
3x minus 6. Okay, so now you bring the x to this side. I'm sure you remember this, right? 2x equals to 28. Okay, so
Right.
x equals to 14. This is one thing I try to instill into my students' brain early on. In Gmat, you got to read the end of the question one more time after you do all the math. Like, what are they asking? Are they asking Sam's age or Phil's age? Or there's so many ways they can ask this question, you know? Like, I mean, in your math classes, you know, they didn't try to trick you with the last part of the question, but in Gmat they will. Okay, so you have
So
to.
it's the original number. It's the x. It's not. You're not solving for the number after he has 16 more or he gives away 6. It's the original
Not
number.
even, not even that. Look at that. They're asking for Phil's age, so you're really looking for 3x.
Right.
Okay, so it's 3x that they're looking for. 3x equals to 42. So the answer is 42.
See, that's where I would have gotten careless.
That happens to a lot of students. I mean, I call this the smart student syndrome. A lot of my smart students, they do everything correct and they forget to read the end of the question, you know, at the, and then answer just, you know, what they think is the question. Because, you know, in your whole life, when you took math and in school and you know, that you were never trained on something like this, you know. They're never tricky about that. They're tricky about how they wanted to teach you how to do the math, right?
Right.
They never, but in Gmat,
the process of the question, though, that's important.
Yeah. So at the end of the question, read the last sentence one more time. After all your hard work, read it one more time. Not the whole thing, just the end. You know.
Right.
Make sure you're answering what they're asking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next important thing you need to know is okay, we did a little bit of percent. I want to show you this technique number 5. The percent increase from 5 to 10.
Mhm.
Questions here. So let me just circle this.
Percentage change, I know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure because of business experience, you know, you got to be master of it,
Yeah.
right? So okay, I call this method the COP method. Change over original
Right.
times 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, call it COP. So what you do is here, 5 changes to 10, so you have a
Right.
plus 5. So using COP method, you put the plus 5 on top, original at the bottom, times 100%, which is just basically 100%, you know? That's how you set it up, right? The important thing is to see that this plus is 10 minus 5.
Right.
The change goes in there, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's look at a problem real quick. And this is going to help you in your business also. Look at this question. Example 7 on the right side. How would you do it?
Okay. Well, I mean, for this one, am I wrong if I say that the increase, you just go by the larger increase?
No, you shouldn't. Like, think about it. If you invest $100, okay,
Right.
and make $200, okay,
Mhm.
That's one investment. In another investment, you invest $1,000 and make $300. Which one was a better investment?
The $100 one.
Exactly. So just because the second one had $300 doesn't make it better, right?
That's so true. Yeah. Okay.
You need to see what percent. That's where the COP method comes in. Okay. So go ahead and try to do it first. Number 7.
I think it's January to February.
Yes, it is. It is. That's the best. Okay. And
25.
again, look what.
Yeah.
Look what they did here. They used the COP method in this book also. Okay, but they didn't talk about. They actually wasted a lot of time. I'll show you why. Want to go to this page. On the right side, okay. All right. So they use the COP method for all 5 of these, all right?
Yeah.
But you don't have enough time in the exam, to waste like that.
Right.
Okay. So you need to be able to quickly see using your common sense that the first one you invest 800 and it goes up 200. Think of it that way, okay? It's better than when you invest 1,000 and it goes up 200. You don't need to do any math for that, right? You can use common sense and tell, right? Right? So this was a waste of time. February was a waste of time, right? Doing all this math.
Right.
Same with March. Okay, you can use common sense and tell that it only went up $100 from 1,200. So obviously that's a bad deal too. So you want to, you don't want to waste your time thinking about it or doing math about it, right?
Right.
The third one, it goes up 300. So you really need to use the COP method to check. Okay, the first one and the fourth one you need to check, compare, right?
So it's 300 divided by 1,300. 10% increase.
Okay, so this one turns out to be 25%. This one turns out to be.
So that's what I started off with the first one, and then I got to about March, and then I was like, this doesn't make sense for me to do all of them. It's pretty obvious.
Right. And then, but the first one and fourth one, you need to check. The fourth one is you need to check because it's 300. You want to know, if the percentage is more. Like for example, if it was 1,250 instead of 1,300, you would have in the fourth one. April would have been better. There's a lot of it depends on what you put into it. Okay. If it was 1,250 to 1,600, you'd have said, okay, that's a better deal. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So you need to do that, do the COP method for that. And for May to June, it's 200. So again, you can see that January was better because it goes up 200 from 800. So the base is important. That's what I was telling you. Right. The original is very important. You need to know what you put at the bottom, right?
Right.
Okay. So the only 2 you need to check are this first one and the fourth one. Make sense?
Right. Yep.
Okay. And we're going to do more problems like this, so it will drill down, right? Good. Okay. Okay. The next thing I want to see is, okay, you got that, you got the percentage. Okay. Q is 10% greater than P. Okay. Whenever you have percent increase or percent decrease like that,
Q equals 10%, or it's percent. So you're going to do 10 over 100 times. Is that how we do it? 10 over 1.
Yeah, 10 over 100, but plus the original. You need that too. It's 10% greater. So I tell my students to think of it this way. Don't worry about the answers here. Q is equal to 1.10p. So when something goes up 10%, you multiply with 1.10. When something goes up 20%, you multiply with 1.25.
Right.
When something goes down 10%, you do say like A equals to 0.90B. Okay, that's like 10% down. When it goes down 20%, you say A equals to 0.80B. All right, so you just do 1 plus something or 1 minus something. Okay, it makes questions much easier if you look at it this way. All right, it helps with your business too. You don't have to do too much calculation. You can just do this kind of calculation very quickly, even in your head sometimes. Okay, and here I want to show you an example, like example 6. Okay. If Q is 10% greater than P, so you can see that Q equals to 1.10 P. R is 10% greater than Y, so R equals to 1.10 Y. Yeah. Okay, QR is what percent greater than PY? So you multiply the left side, Q times R, multiply the right side, 1.1 times 1.1, you can multiply 11 times 11, that's 121. So 2 decimal places, it is 1, so it will be 1.21 PY, okay? At this point, I want my students to see that this is just 21% more, nothing else. You don't need to do any math. If you can read the language of percentage, that should be the giveaway, okay? If you know that, it saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because look at this book. This is one of the best books in the market. People don't even know about this. It's a secret book, okay? And look at how they did it on the left side. See how long? The whole thing. Look at that, all the way, still going at the bottom, and goes to the next column also.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you know this technique I just showed you, you can do it like in 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. The next important thing here that I want you to know is we covered this. Okay, we covered this section pretty well. So, okay, if we're going into percentage problems, I want to show you some things that are like how they're related. Okay. Okay.
So there are no calculators allowed on the test?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
And that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is data sufficiency.
The worst thing is what?
Is data sufficiency.
Oh, okay. So like statistics?
No. You wish it was statistics. It was just weird math.
Okay.
I mean, even if you know all algebra and geometry and everything, you make mistakes there. It's just like...
So it's just critical thinking.
No, more like... Yeah, it is critical thinking, but it's more than that. It's made by some crazy people. That's the true reason. And it has no business to be in Gmat and business school exams, I read an article yesterday in a magazine how SAT is not really related to how successful people will be in life or anything. It's really related to, they did a correlation. They found the correlation is with SAT score is correlated to socioeconomic status of people, because people who get a lot of help, take lots of courses on those,
Right.
and learn and take those, they end up getting better score and end up going to top schools. So it's not how smart you are. If you don't don't learn the techniques.
Yeah.
Because so I think that's true about GMAT too. In data sufficiency, it doesn't even matter how smart you are, you'll make a lot of mistakes. So it's like for people who can afford to study a lot, for data sufficiency and get it. So it's just that you got to put some time into it, and you got to study a lot for that.
Well, that's good that I have the time then.
That's good. Yeah, time is the most important thing because, even if you have everything else, if you don't have time, you're in trouble.
Right. Right.
Okay, this I want to cover, and yeah, that's it. That's all from this part. Okay. Okay, look at example 1 on the left side.
Okay.
This is a circle, okay? And this, the shaded region looks kind of weird. It's very hard to get each one individually, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a circle, not, I think it's like semicircle, not even semicircle, like
Right.
regions like this. Like, how do you find the area of that? Okay? But it's really a very simple question. Can you read it clearly? Is it clear?
Yeah. Could you zoom in just a little
Yeah,
bit?
actually, I'm going to use the other book for this then. Mm, not this one. This one. Better?
Yeah.
See example 1. They tell you that the area of the circle is 64, okay? And the area of the triangle is 15.
Mm-hmm.
So all you really need to do is subtract the triangle from the circle,
Right.
right? And that's it, okay? So in a lot of weird looking shapes in the test,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Don't get scared when you see things like this. You'll probably be able to just, do something very simple and get it, right? There are plenty of scarecrow questions in the test, right? Just look scary, but
Mm-hmm.
not a big deal. Okay. Example 2. Um, see those angles together? It's a straight line, so together it should be 180 degrees,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know that x plus 60 plus y plus, let's call it z. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Z equals to 180. So to find what z is, you just have to subtract all these things from that, and z will
Right.
be, subtract, will be 120 minus x minus y.
Right.
That's it, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times you should be able to find things by subtracting what's remaining, right?
Right.
Okay. Example 3 here. Okay. AB is M, so this is M. BC is N, so this is N, right? And the whole thing here is 10. So how do you find the remaining parts? You subtract those M and N, right? This will be
Mm-hmm.
M minus N. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, the next question.
Now I'll be able to do all that, but it would just take me, a little more time just so I could write it out. The
Right,
equation.
right. Well, it's the thought process that's important at this time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, see how I'm trying to break it down, because like I said again, if you spend 5 minutes on a question, even if you get it right, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's time is it's actually sometimes better to have it wrong and move on to the next another question than to have it right and waste too much time on it. Okay,
Yeah.
because that will mess up 3 other questions.
Right.
So it's very important to know the fastest possible way, and very important to know how to think through it, how to break it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Example 4, the area of triangle ACE equals to 64.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 8 Okay, so I'm not going to get into that actually. Okay, the area of the triangle is 64. So these two triangles are 64, and the square is the shaded region is 39. So if you subtract the shaded region, the square has 25 left, right? So 64 minus 39 equals to 25, right?
Now, I mean, I do see that there's like, I mean, should I be concerned that, to the left of there's still some shaded area?
No,
that,
that's just a line. Yeah, don't worry
okay,
about that. That's a line, yeah.
okay.
Okay. But that's a good point, though. They should probably make it thinner.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
guess.
'cause I would be the guy that thinks that they're trying to mess with me,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so you have 25. The square is 25, all right? So you know that square is base times height. Basically, it's the same thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or x times x, the same, because they're same. So it's x squared. Right? So x squared equals to 25. So x must be 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know your squares up to at least 12 or so? Like your times table?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
up to 12. Up to 12. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's good enough. Because people usually remember their times table, but they don't remember the squares. It's good to know those real quick. Okay.
Well, you're talking about times tables, right? Up to 12.
Times table. Yeah, times table. Yeah, of course you need to know that, but also squares. Like you look at a number like 144.
12 times 12.
Yeah, you got to know right away that is 12 square.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you don't have to waste time, doing the all kinds of multiplication to find out what that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. This question, example 5 here. Okay, here, this triangle has. Okay. So you know that this OB and OA are radii, and the radius is 3, right? They're 3. So how do you do this? Okay, whenever you see a circle, write down card, circumference, area, radius, diameter. The 4 important things about a circle, right?
Okay.
And the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. You got to have it memorized. The area is pi r square. Radius is r. Diameter is 2r. Get it?
Yeah. I just kind of forgot what that was.
Okay. So now, you have to memorize this. Very important.
Right.
This, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the radius is 3. So the good thing about card is, if you know one thing about a circle, you can find everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just need to find the radius first from that information. If you know circumference, you can use the formula to find out what radius is. And when you find the radius, you can find the area and diameter. And it also keeps things organized. Like if you have 2 circles, you don't mix up the information of the 2. You can just make 2 columns for the 2 circles, like big circle, small circle, like that.
Okay.
So, use card whenever you see circles. It just makes things much easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in this question, we know this is 3. So right away, you can fill this up for the fun of it. We don't need everything, but let's just do it anyway. Diameter is 6. Area is pi r square, which is 9 pi. And circumference is 2 pi r, which is 6 pi. So we know everything about this circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this question is asking, this is 90 degree. What's the area of the shaded region? Okay. So what you really need is first, this question is about area, all right? So you need the 9 pi, okay? So 9 pi is like the whole circle, like the whole pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you eat the whole pizza, it's like 9 pi, right? But you don't want the whole pizza. You only want 90 degree of it. You do 90, you're out of 360. Okay? That's the proportion you want.
Gotcha.
Okay? Times 9 pi. So that turns out to be 9 pi over 4. Okay? You can reduce it. All right. But then you decide, okay, I'm not even going to have 90 degree of the pizza. I'll only have the crust. Okay? I'll only have the edge. I don't want the cheese. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to cut it off, and you want to get rid of the pizza, and you want to know how much area that is. So you need to subtract the triangle. What's the area of the triangle? 1/2 times base times height. And because it's 90 degree, that's how you get it. Yeah, right? It's going to be
Yep.
9/2.
One second, Manny. I've
Sure.
got just need to minimize this one thing. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So, and rest is just algebra. Just finish it up.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see?
Okay.
Yeah, that's the math. So,
Okay.
so let's move on. A little bit of basic algebra. Look at this one. It's kind of got this. This one. Example 6. How would you do something like that? Weird shape. Looks like a trapezoid, but you don't know for sure. This is a trapezoid, by the way. But anyway, how would you know the area of this trapezoid? You don't know the height of this. So what you can do is you can find the area of the entire square. Okay, so this whole thing is 5. This whole thing is 5. It's 25, right? And then you can subtract the 4 little triangles. Okay, so you do square minus little triangle on the left, big triangle on the right.
How do you know it's
triangle.
5?
Huh?
How do you know it's 5?
Oh, it says in the question that, it's like 1. But look at this, count the dots. 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 4, yeah, I see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you got to just subtract the triangles, all the areas of the little triangles, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And we'll do problems like this later on. But you got the concept, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the next thing is
Area of the triangle is 1/2 times base times height, right?
height. Yes, we'll get into geometry later. Yeah, that's all we need for the area of the triangle. Okay. Okay, couple of basic algebra formulas that are worth memorizing. Not all of them. You need to know x squared minus y squared is x plus y minus y. So this is one very important. The second one, when you have x plus, I have it here.
Okay.
X plus y square here together. You have x squared plus 2xy plus y square. Okay.
Yeah, it's just broken down.
Yeah, you need these things should be memorized. Very important, right? All this 3. The rest are not that important. Kind of common sense. You can just work it out. The rest. Right?
Okay.
Those things should be memorized. Okay, look at example 1. 66 squared plus 2 times 34 times 66 plus 34. Again, that's too much work if you have to do the math. Okay?
Right.
You notice that this is using the a squared plus 2ab plus b squared formula. It takes a second to do it. So you can actually do it in your head. You can do 66 plus 34 square, which is 100 square, which is 10000. Okay? So that you could have done this whole thing in your head, pretty much. You can say 66 plus 34. That's it. Square that.
Mm.
Make sense?
Yeah. I mean, that's. I'm just kind of It's kind of funny how you just did it like that. I guess
Yeah.
I got to definitely memorize those.
Yeah, these three formulas are very important. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Example 2. Okay, x plus y is 9 and xy is 14. So how do you do something like this? You take common denominator. So you have, save this real quick. So you take common denominator is xy. So you put xy at the bottom, and the top you have y plus x, right? So what is xy? It's 14. What's x plus y? 9. That is it. You know? You know how to take common denominator. And look at this one. 100 times 100 minus 99 times 99 at the bottom. So what is this? This is also something you can do in your head. Okay? This is 100 square minus 99 square. That's one of the three formulas I told you to memorize. Here
Okay.
it is. X square minus y square is x plus y minus 1. Okay? So using that formula, this is equals to 100 plus 99, 100 minus 99, which is 199 times 1. So it's just 199. So you didn't have to write anything. If you notice that, you could have just, do it in your head in 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
100 plus 99, 9 times 1, that's it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing that's important is, let's see. Okay, this is a nice trick to know here. A little bit of exponent stuff. 8 to the 7 minus 8 to the 6. Okay. So what is 8 to the 7? 8 to the 7 means 8 times 8 times 8 times 7 times, right?
Right.
So you really have a bunch of 8s here minus another whole bunch of 8s here. 8 to the 6, right? Divide by 7. So really you could have taken all these 8s out except for 1.
Yeah, and then
Because,
subtract
so you
64.
take 8 to the 6 out, and you only have 8 left for the first one.
Yeah.
For the second one, you took everything out, so you only have a 1 left, not 0. 1, because, it's multiplied with 1 at the end, you can tell, there's like still a 1 left. So,
So it's 8 times 8, 7 times, minus 8 times 8, 6 times.
Exactly.
Can you cross that out to 8 times 8? Can you cross that out to 8, I guess, can you do it like 8 to the second minus 8 to the first? Is that still,
No,
can you?
no, you can't. You can't. You have
Okay.
to take common stuff out of it. What's common? So
Okay.
the first one and second, they have 8 to the 6 in common, right? Because you could have essentially written it like this. Let me go back one step and show it to you in smaller steps. Here you could have written it as 8 to the 6 times 8 minus 8 to the 6 times 1. Do you see that? Okay, now you could have taken out 8 to the 6. If you take out 8 to the 6, you have 8 minus 1 divided by 7, which is 7 at the bottom, 7 here, and 8 to the 6. So that turns out to be 8 to the 6. Is that clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This stuff. Okay. Example 4. Actually, example 5. 8. Oh yeah, I go at the bottom here. 88 square plus 88 square times 3. So we need to notice that this equals to 88 square times 1 plus 88 square times 3. If you notice that, you can easily take out 88 square from that. Okay? You have 88 square out, you have 1 plus 3, which is 88 square times 4. That equals to 88 square times 2 square. That equals to 88 times 2.
So can we just do that one more time, just step by step?
Yeah. First, what I did was I took the question and I rewrote it with times 1. The only new thing I did here was I multiplied it with 1. That's
okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, then I took 88 square common. Okay. Get it?
When you say common, it's because
both parts have 88 square.
88
right?
square. Yeah. Okay.
You have this part and this part. Both parts have that, right? When
Yeah.
you take that out, you have 1 plus 3 remaining, right?
Okay.
So you have 88 square times 4. Get it?
Okay.
So 88 square times 2 square. Okay?
Is that how you do it with all the problems? You multiply it by 1?
Well, when you have any number, you can always multiply it with 1, right?
Right.
So you can kind of visually see what's happening here. Just take that out. Because some students put 0 in there thinking that, okay, I took the 88 square out. Why shouldn't I put 0 in there, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. That doesn't make sense.
It has, that's why you need, it's good to, that's why I use that extra step that the book didn't use so that you could see,
Yeah.
Okay.
But just to be clear here, that second step, I'm still confused as to how you got to that second step where you eliminated that other common 88 squared.
It's like this. Let's say you have AB plus AC, all right? You do not really eliminate. What you do is you take the A common. You have B plus C, and that's it. Same thing here.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah.
Okay. So 88 square, you have it in both parts. So you just take it out. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Gotcha.
All right. All right. Next thing is, okay, this example. We kind of covered that in the other question. I'm going to skip that. Okay. We did that. Okay. I'm going to skip some things here. I'm going to go to a different page. It's going to Okay. We're going to work on some problems now, all right?
Okay.
Practice problems, so that will help you on a deeper level. 90, 85. Print screen. Okay. Okay, since you're not going to be using calculator, I want to make sure you're proficient with these kinds of questions right away. Question number 1, go ahead and try it first.
Okay. I'm gonna go D.
D?
Yeah.
That's right.
Good.
Okay. The best way to do this is put it in decimals. Huh? 2.5. 21 over 4 is 5.25. Okay. The next one is 3.35. Put it in with like 0.125, and you add that. That's easier to do than with fractions.
Yeah, so I did the fractions and I created a common denominator out of 8.
A little too hard. So how'd you do with 3 and 3 over 3? 3.35. How'd you do that?
I multiplied the decimals.
Because you have 3 and 35 over 100.
Right.
This is really 3 and 7 over 20. So you cannot really make it make 8 a common denominator here.
But I got, for me that I got as close to the number as I,
Yeah, you just approximated it.
Yeah, I approximated it.
Yeah.
Which, I guess that's a little too risky.
That's okay, but in this case it was okay. But in another question, if there was another option like 11.2, you'd know which one it is, right?
Right.
And more importantly, you need to know, how to do the decimal calculation and also fraction calculation too, right? Like you have to. Sometimes you can approximate it, but if you don't know the math clearly, confidently, you'll be in trouble later on, with harder questions. So, again, are you okay with the decimal adding? You know how you can put zeros here?
Yeah,
right?
can you show me a technique or a way to do that? Because I would have trouble putting the, I guess, let's just say it was a different fraction, a fraction that was harder. How would you go about by doing that?
Okay. I actually want to make you work on one of my websites here, that teacher's website. I will open it here. I'm going to make a user ID and password for you.
Okay.
And for now, I'll just go in there with my. Okay, you can practice some of this stuff in Algebra 1. I don't think they have decimals in Algebra 1. Let me see. No, they don't have it here. You can practice some I think that's the best place probably with 6th grade level. Math has that. And you can practice decimals here. See, multiply and divide decimals. So you can go in here, let's say, multiply decimals, or if in this case, it's adding decimals. Let's practice just a little bit in here. That should be enough. You don't need to spend too much time on this. Right, just to brush up. Adding decimals. Here you go. This is kind of easy. 0.8, 0.5. You have to make sure you have zeros at the end. If in case it was like, let's say I'm going to make up a different question. Let's say it was 0.8 minus 0.56. Okay. When you subtract that, you need to put a 0 at the back here to make sure you can subtract 6 from something. Right? You borrow 10, just like regular math now.
Yeah.
24, right? Okay, like that. So you can practice these things later on. I'll give you some additional work and even separate worksheets. And for fractions, you have to have the same common denominator. Okay.
Right.
Here, this is 20, so it's kind of hard to get a common denominator. If you're using fractions, you use it like this. 2.5 plus 21/4 plus 3 and 7/20 plus 1/8. Okay. So you can rewrite the first one as 5/2. Rewrite the second one as 21/4. Rewrite the third one as multiplied with 67. Rewrite this one as 1. Well, actually, you don't have to rewrite. Now you have to find the common denominator. Find the first number that can absorb all these denominators. So you need to break down all these numbers. 2 equals 2, yes, 2. 4 equals 2, 2 times 2.
Right.
20 equals 2 times 5. And 8 equals 2 times 2 times, well, doesn't have a 5, it has another 2. So you see what's in common. All of them need this first 2.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them need this second 2. One of these needs this 5, and one of these needs this 2. So the common denominator would be 2 times 5 times 2, which is 40. So we're going to have 40 at the bottom for each one of these. How do you get to that 40? You need to multiply this one with 20. So you have to do the same thing on top. This one with 10. You have to do the same thing in here. Again, I wouldn't advise you to do this on this specific problem. It's decimals is way easier, right?
Right.
Multiply this with 2, multiply with this 2, and this one multiply with 5, multiply with 5. So now you have 40 at the bottom for each one of these, okay?
Now,
40 at the bottom.
'cause let's just say I don't know what 1/8 is in decimals right off the top of my head.
Right. You can actually divide, because 1/4 is what? 25 cents, right?
Right.
So 1/8 is half of that, which is?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
There are ways around it. Sure.
Yeah. And I'm going to work on this kind of mental math with you later on a little bit more. Okay? Today I'm just focusing on some basic word problem techniques.
Right.
Okay. Plus 210/40 plus 134/40 plus 5/40. You add all these up, 40 at the bottom.
Yep.
You get the rest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is how you got it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of work on decimals and fractions, so you can practice that later. We'll do that at the end of the session. Okay, number 2. Again, I call, the techniques I showed you, I call these apps, like your telephone has apps.
Mm-hmm.
These are like Gmat apps or exam apps. If you know the apps, the test becomes way easier. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Try question number 2. I've showed you the app for this question. See if you can do it now. Excuse me.
I don't know. I'm gonna need some help.
Okay. See, what happened is, draw a picture. 35 changed to 36.4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How much did it change? Plus 1.4, right?
Right. So I did that, and then I subtracted 36.4 minus 35
Exactly.
over 36.4. And then multiply
No, think about it.
the original. So
Yeah, you need to put like if you invest $100 and make $1,000, do you say this is like you put 1,000 at the bottom? That's like only 10% gain,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So you put 35 at the bottom, and using the COP method, you multiply that with 100%. So what is that? 35 at the bottom, 1.4 at the top, times 100%, which is 140 divided by 35. So you can see that you can divide this by 5, 7, divided by 28. Divide this by 7, that's 4. That's just 4%.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and try number 3.
Okay.
Should it help?
1 second. I got it to the fraction. Yeah, all right. I guess I'll walk you through what I did first.
Yeah, what you do? Well, you can just tell me the answer. I'll be able to tell what you're thinking.
I still haven't gotten to an answer. That's the thing. I feel like I'm taking way too long on it.
Okay. You can do this pretty much in your head, actually, but I'll show it to you the steps here. wholesale price was 75 bucks.
Mhm.
Okay. He then marks it up 1/3. Okay. 1/3. What is 1/3 of 25? I'm sorry,
That's it.
75? 25, right?
25. 25.
You can do that in your head. You don't have to do any
Right.
math for that too much. I mean, writing, right? So you add that up. So basically,
100.
you see that this 75 will end up as 100 later on, right?
Okay. All right.
Okay, now the discount is 20%. Again, this part also you can do in your head.
Mhm. $20 off
20%
100.
is $20 off. So you take 20 off. That's 80, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see that this was a $5 gain, and that's it.
All right. Yeah. So I made it way too complicated because I was solving for what the 1/3 markup was, and then I didn't even get to the point of the discount of 20%.
Okay.
Because I turned it into an algebra equation where it was 1/3 x, equals. Well, and I did the percentage change formula 1/3 x minus 75
Yeah,
over
yeah.
75,
Right.
and that's obviously the long and
Yeah, they gave you the numbers already, so you don't need to go to the X. It's usually the other way. I mean, the trick with Gmat is to go toward numbers.
Okay. Okay.
When they give you variables, a lot of times you're better off using numbers.
Mhm.
Huh? Okay, go ahead and try 4 first. And there's a trap in it. I'm going to show you 2 different traps using this question.
I'm going D, 14 inches.
That's a trap.
That's a
Okay.
trap.
Yeah.
Oh wait, because that's for how I need to solve for. I have the wide. I also need it's base times height, right?
Not really. It's about, see that inch and foot. See, cross multiplication is a wonderful tool, but there are 2 traps with cross multiplication. Okay. 2 traps. Number 1, unit trap.
Yeah.
Number 2, dimension trap. In this case, there is a unit trap. Okay.
Mhm.
We're going to work on dimension trap later on. So for unit trap, look at this. Before you cross multiply, you have to make an adjustment. Here, you have, let's say, the map, the blueprint, and real. Okay, the map is 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, and real is 1 foot. Okay. Okay, this is your clue.
Yeah.
What's your puzzle? Your puzzle is 56 inches in real life, and the answer is in X inches in map. Okay. So your first instinct might be to want to cross multiply this, but that's a trap. The problem is there's a feet here and there's an inch here. If it was feet and feet, mile and mile, you know, anything that's same, second and second, whatever it is, you know, it's as long as it's the same, that's the same. That's not a problem, huh?
So I should have done 12 rather than 1.
Yes, you have to create a clue 2.
Yeah.
So with clue 2, you have 1/4 inch. These are fine, you know. There's no issue here. But here you got to change it to 12 inches. And now you have the license to cross multiply. Okay?
Yeah.
So you need to watch out for the unit trap. And okay, so when you cross multiply, you have 50. We have x times 12 equals to 1/4 times 56, which is 14.
Yeah.
X is equal to 14 over 12, which is 1 and 1, 2 12, which is 1 and 1 6. Get it?
Yep. Yep. That's you even warned me about it. I should have known.
It's hard to see that, you know. So now you know how you have to watch out for units, all right?
All right.
Okay. Let's look at question number 5. Okay. Go ahead and try it first.
Okay.
Should I help?
So I'm trying to calculate pi because it's 2 times pi, which is there's no option to give pi in there.
Just leave pi as it doesn't matter. I mean, even if you leave pi there, it will cancel out.
Okay. Well, so the radius is 2x because it's 2r actually because it's 50% increase. Or no, it wouldn't be. It would be 1.1. It would be 1.5. You multiply.
Okay. 1.5. That works. That actually right away.
So 1.5 r equals. All right, well, it'd be 2 pi times 1.5 r, which is what we're going for the circumference.
Okay. Can I show it to you? I think it's, let me jump in here a little bit. I want to show you 4 different apps with this question, right? The first app is the card. I've showed you this already, right? Circumference area, radius, circumference,
Right.
radius, diameter. The second app is whenever you have 2 different things, make a chart. Like here you can see the before, after, right? Or small and big, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the second app. We kind of covered that also. The third app is the most important app for Gmat. Okay, and that is when you have they don't give you any number, they only give you percentages or ratio. Plug in 100. Okay, 100 is your best friend for Gmat, right? It'll help. It'll help you solve a lot of hard problems easily. Okay, if you plug in 100 for the radius before, it goes up 50%. So you can do it in your head. It must be 150, right?
Okay.
And using the 2 pi r formula, you can just get this one as 200 pi. You get this one as 300 pi, right?
Yep.
Okay, now what is the scenario here? 200 pi changes to 300 pi. That's a plus 100 pi. That's your COP method. Okay, so it'll be 100 pi on top, plus of course, over 200 pi times 100%. That equals to 50%.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So all these 4 apps are very important. The card method for circles, before after chart, so you don't mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
The 100 and the COP method. Okay. I'm going to skip 6. Go ahead and try 7. And you're going to use one of the apps I just showed you.
Okay. Is it D?
No. Actually, you use 100. You're thinking it's 30. Okay, let's say you're going to buy $100 running shoes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you have a 20% discount coupon, all right? You go to the store, you tell them, okay, I want to buy it for $80. It's supposed to, be 20% off. But they tell you, well, we made it in China for $10. 20% works on that, so that's like $2. So you have to pay $98. Would you pay for it? Did you pay $98 for those shoes?
No.
Yeah, that's not fair. But that's what you did. You took the 10% discount off from the final price. See that? They have, let's say, start with $100 in this case. 40% profit goes up to 140, right?
Right.
10% less. See, that 10% less doesn't come from this $100. This 10% less is supposed to come from this $140.
Right.
Right? So that should be minus 14. That's 126.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So the discount's always calculated of the final price, not from this,
Okay.
this $10 whatever, not the early price, right?
Right.
So when you look at this, I don't want you to do any cop method after this to figure it out, because you use 100, you can pretty much do this whole thing in your head. 100
Mm-hmm.
goes up to 140 minus 14, that's 126. That's your $26. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to do any percentage calculation after that, because 100 just made it so much simpler, isn't it?
Yeah.
The 100 works.
Yeah, it's not like I need to know what the actual price is or anything like that. I could just use a simple $100.
When they don't give you any number, plug in 100. Yeah,
Okay.
makes it so much easier. And more, the other important thing that you did was you calculated a percentage of the final price. The discount of the final price, of the earlier price, not the final price. See that?
Mm-hmm.
You need to watch out for that. Okay, discounts always calculated of what it was originally, right? What is the final price when you go shopping, right? Right. It's
Right.
not based on how much it was in China. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Okay. Number 8.
I'm going with E.
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense, though.
No. See, using the translation table we looked at earlier. Using that table, this is a. This is what is 0.5%. So what means X. E means equal to 0.05 is just a number. Percent means divided by 100.
Mm.
Off means multiply. 6.5 is 6.5. Okay? Get it?
Yeah.
So then you just multiply that 0.05 with 6.5. How do you do that? Well, you got to borrow some places. It goes 2 places back. This goes 1 place back. So you have 65 times 5. That's 325. So how many places did you borrow? 3 spaces. So you got to give it back. The decimal is right at the back. It's like 10000. It goes back here. 1, 2, 3. This whole thing turns out to be 0.325 over 100. And since there's 100 at the bottom, the decimal goes back 2 more spaces. It's 0.00325. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
Any confusion on that?
No, I just need to brush up on that.
Yeah, we're going to work on some basic stuff a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, how about 8?
I mean, 9?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, 9. We just did 8. How about 8 is equal to 7? 8. Go ahead and try 9. This was 7. Okay. This is 9.
So the goal here is to get the common denominator in the numerator.
Okay.
So, what I did was I got, 3 times 1.5 is 1.5, and same with the other one. So that's 2 1.5s add up to 3 total. And then for 1/4, I converted it into a number. All right, multiplied 3 times 4, which is 12. That gives you 1/12.
Okay. Okay. Keep going. Is that,
So 3 1/2. You've got 2 of those, right? So I got 3 out of that. That equals 3.
You're thinking 3 times 1/2. I see.
Right.
It's just 3 and 1/2. It's like 350. 3.5. That's what this is. Not 3 times half.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's like $3.50 kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Never mind. Let me do this again. That's 1350 divided by 4.5.
Yes, that's right.
So I have to reduce that to well, it's D or E. I know that.
Okay. Actually, no. What is 3.5 and 3? You got 1350 easily. 3.5 and 3.5 is 7. 3.25 and 3.25 is 6.5. Yes, yeah. 6.5 is actually even better. So that equals to 13.5 on top.
Right, and
4.5, right? So
right.
whenever you have 0.5 like this, you can just double it. Multiply both 9 and 27. That's 3.
Oh yeah, it does go in there. Okay.
Okay. If you can think of it, you can also just make it 135 over 45, which is a little bit longer process, and divide by 5, and you get 9 here, 27 here, and then divide here.
Okay.
Okay. But with 0.5, doubling it is the faster way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 10. Go ahead and try it first.
C.
You got it pretty fast. Good. Let's move on. Are you okay with getting the product or something like this? Number 11.
Let's see. When I say what is the product of the following fractions, what is the total when you add them all together?
Product means multiply.
Okay. Let's see. With multiplication, you don't need a common denominator, right? I mean, you can.
Right. You don't, right.
So I would multiply 100 times 49 times 9.
Don't do that. That's what I was trying to make sure you avoid. Let me just copy this page to that other. View this.
Well, I could do cross multiplication for 2 and then do it for the next one.
You don't want to cross multiply. Cross multiplication means when something is equal to something, you cross it. But here you can. I'll show you this. Let me just copy this to the notebook so you can review it later. Okay. Okay. 11. What's the product of the following? So it's 3 over 100 times 15 over 49 times 7 over 9. Okay? Now, you should be able to reduce some of these. Like 49 and 7, which is 7, right? 3 and 9, that's 3.
Right.
3 and 15, that's 5. 5 and 100, that's 20. So you basically have 1 on top, multiplied it out, 140.
Gotcha.
So much easier, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have a calculator, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and try number 12.
Okay. So the original, okay, so the change here, because it's not like it's an actual temperature change. We're thinking the change here is 72, right?
See, it's supposed to be 77. 72 was just a mistake.
Right. But when you're doing the percentage change, you're considering that. All right, so you're considering that the 77 is
the
what
benchmark, right?
Okay.
72 is just a mistake. Okay, it's not
Right.
necessarily the lower number that's original, you know?
Yeah, no, that's what I was making sure of because,
Yeah.
okay.
So the change is -5.
Yeah, you're gonna have a negative. Yeah, that's all right. So you've got 72 minus 77, which is -5 over 77.
Yep. And then you just divide it. Okay?
So how do you come up like so to get that into a percentage? You know,
You
-5 divided by 77.
you take 577 and it goes in 6 times. So you multiply 6 times that.
Mm-hmm.
That's 462. If 38 goes in
Okay.
there, how many times? 380. So 77, it doesn't go in there 5 times. It goes in there 4 times. So right there, you know that all the options you have left is, A. So you don't
You
have
do
to do
you
anything
long
more.
division,
Yeah. It's just a
which
long, but you can
yeah,
stop right there. It's not that long, Because
right.
you
But
can see
I need to brush up on that long division too. It's been
Okay. That's 72. But you don't need to do anything because it's 6.4. You can kind of say it's going to be 9 anyway. Because everything else is with 0.5, 0.6, like that. The trick
right.
is this one. This is what most people mess up on, You have to
All right.
know what is you're comparing it against, right? Okay. But do you know how long you want to do the session? Forgot. Oh, 2 hours, right?
Let's 2 hours is
If you
good.
want
And
to
then
do longer, that's also fine with me.
oh no, no, I have to go after this. But I was
12.
thinking we do a total of 4 hours a week because I'm also going to be
Okay.
doing verbal with another teacher.
Okay.
So is Thursday good as well?
Thursday, let me check.
I'm thinking Tuesday, Thursday, same time if possible.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.
Okay,
Tuesday,
great.
Thursday, same time is good. Okay, that works. All right. Let's move on to the 16. Um, you know what? You kind of need this, so let's do this anyway. But I also want you to get rolling on one of my websites. Hold on. Let me make a user ID password for you for here, and I want you to do some work on some basic math that you've forgotten.
Okay.
Okay. I can do my phone. Actually. The last name is Karimi, right?
Karimi, yeah.